What's going on, 49er faithful, 49er fam, 49er gang? This your boy 49er Dion here, back with another video. So definitely hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, turn on the post notifications so I can keep you up to date on any and everything San Francisco 49ers. With that being said, let's get right on into it, man. Y'all see the title of the show. Bro, free agency has been popping off in ways that you cannot imagine. So for me, I know I've been seeing all the moves and everything going on. And I know y'all probably been like, yo, D, you ain't even told us like what's happening. Like you ain't been in there. I used to just pull my phone out, boom, free agent news, yada, 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 blah, blah, blah. But I've been letting stuff build up, man, because I figure I want to at least get, a nice chunk of material so we can go ahead and go into this show. Just came off watching Nitty Gritty Niners with Breezy and Peachy. Definitely shout out to them. But man, this is an action-packed show. We got a ton of stuff to get into. Cool thing is, man, on Twitter, shout out to all my guys on Twitter, man, that mess with your boy. We've been literally like in a chat, just back and forth. Boom, 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 boom. What's going on? This, that, the third, man. Shout out to Javi. Shout out to Jason Aponte. All the NB Niners fam, everybody, man. But we've been really, really getting active in free agency, man. And the cool thing is we've been doing it to a point where we've been making sure that we took care of home. Because that's what a lot of people don't do. They don't take care of home. They so busy going out there looking at everything else, man, that they don't know how to stick around and stay for the, for the long term. And see, that's what our franchise was about back in the day, was getting people on the long term. That's why, when you had Eddie DeBartolo running the franchise, those were the things that happened. So just on a quick side note, Matt was having my guy. Matt made me laugh, man. Everybody, y'all know that Trent Baalke is the GM for the Jags. He made a signing. He signed Philip Dorsett. The most lackluster thing I've ever seen in my life. This dude signed Philip freaking Dorsett. You can't make this stuff up, man. It's priceless. But let's get right into the show, man. Like I said, I got a lot for you guys, man. We're going to get it in. We're going to talk about everything. We're going to go over some things. So I basically got everything, drawn up here from start to finish. So we're going to start, man. Juice. Resign, baby. He stays with us. If you don't get up in the morning and drink your OJ and get your vitamin C, you must be tripping. That's how you keep a healthy immune system, and you go ahead and make sure you fight that COVID. But Juice, man, 5-year, $27 million deal, $10 million guaranteed. He stays with us in the Bay. It made more sense because he wasn't going to get that kind of a deal anywhere else. Now, mind you, there's guarantees and there's other things into the contracts. But at the end of the day, Juice stays home. So I'm happy about that. That's a beautiful thing. Next thing we got up is Evan Mosley, 2-year, $10 million deal with some incentives, man. So E-Man stays. Glad we got another DB in the building. We got our fullback in the building. So we just making strides and making continual strides, man. So, of course, way earlier, before free agency even started, they gave River Craycraft the boat a little 1-year deal. Daniel Brunskill is back on the 1-year deal. Hopefully he'll stay at right guard and nowhere else, provided the line can stay healthy. Next thing, man, y'all know me. I've been complaining about this dude. And y'all know I don't like people who suck up cap space and or roster spot. Weston Richburg has restructured his deal. That's right, people. Weston Richburg has restructured his deal. So Richburg restructured his contract to help the 49ers save $6.875 million in cap space. I can appreciate the fact that we gave him all that money and he's only played a limited amount of snaps. None in 2020 he was supposed to. It's sad because you love him when he's on the field, but he's just not on the field. Also heard he could be headed for retirement. If he does retire, we actually get more cap space, and we only owe him, I believe, about $1 million, and the rest we can recoup. He had a torn patella, then a biceps injury, and just had hip surgery. I say there's no way he gets back on the field. Unfortunately, football is such a brutal sport, and defensive and offensive linemen take a real beating, so the injuries can mount up. It would suck if Richburg did have to retire, man, but I mean, sometimes when the injuries pile up on you like that in your career, you really don't have much of a choice. You just got to go with what you got to go with. It definitely is a very, very bad situation for Western Richburg, but it's a good situation for us in the fact that we open up some cap space to get some more money to be able to go after, our own free agents. And at the same time, the biggest free agent of all we're trying to get is Trent Williams. So I was going to go ahead and go in on this dude, but I'm going to go ahead and say no to that because I got some good news as far as that is concerned. So actually my next little piece, my little spiel I was going to go into, man, was not, it basically lost its moment because this guy did something that I didn't expect. So Dee Ford has been with us for 2 seasons and played 12 games out of a possible 36. He did play all 3 playoff games on our Super Bowl run basically a few years ago. People will say look at production while he's there, but he's not on the field enough, period. As much as we praise him, he's only had double-digit sack seasons in his career, twice in his career since entering the NFL. 2016, he had 10. In 2018, he had 13. Other than that, lackluster production for a former first-round pick. 37 sacks in 6 years. That's only 6 sacks a year. Honestly, not good enough. Either way, I was saying, go ahead and cut him and be done with him. We could use a little money to be gained, but it would be, stupid to believe that he plays this year. Now, another part I had to basically wind up cutting out because this guy is back home. We went ahead, man, and we snuck in and we signed him. We got JV. Jason Verrett is back, baby. Verrett is back. He is here on a 1-year deal. That's $5 million. He can go up to 6.5, I believe, if he makes the Pro Bowl. So the cool thing about this is Jason Verrett is betting on himself. He's only 29. He'll be 30 this year. So Verrett is saying, if I ball out this year, then I can go get some real money. Right now, he did have a couple of offers on the table that were multi-year deals. But I think Verrett is basically saying, man, look, if I want the real money, I want that real big check, I want that serious bag, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go get, I'm going to go out here and show y'all I'm really healthy. I can stay healthy for consecutive seasons, and I can ball out. So that's basically been the issue with Jason Verrett. When he's on the field, you already know what you're going to get. But the issue is he's never on the field. So that's the frustrating part about him. Last year, he played the whole season. He did a wonderful job. People stopped throwing at him because they already knew he was back to form. I loved him when he was coming out of college, out of TCU. I wanted us to draft him just because I love defensive backs. That's my favorite position. I've always loved defensive backs. I am only 5'6", but I'll tell you right now, I'll line up against somebody 6'7", and I'm gonna tell you I'll give you all kinds of hell. If I do everything I can to make sure I'm go ahead and high point the ball, do everything, bro. So we definitely wound up re-signing Jason Verrett. And then we went ahead and we signed this guy, Samson Ubakam. He was previously with the Rams. We got him on a 2-year deal. So that's also a good thing. And then right on the heels of that, we go ahead and we get the deal that I've been waiting on, guys. Dee Ford has restructured his damn contract. Let's just clap it up for Dee fucking Ford, man. He finally restructured that damn worthless ass contract that we were stuck in. If we had to pay Dee Ford, we would have wound up having to pay that man almost $20 million. His cap hit this year was like 14 or 15 million. But that's just hell no. So Dee Ford has restructured his contract. He turned it into a 2-year, $24 million deal per Ian Rappaport of NFL Network. Ford's health issues have limited him to just 12 games in 2 seasons. So it's a given that he he need to agree to a restructure in order to remain in San Francisco. Focus on fully recovering from his neck injury this offseason, hoping to bounce back during the 2021 campaign. The beauty of this is, guys, at the end of the day, if we want to say goodbye, good riddance. We don't have to be stuck with giving him a ton of money. The thing is I'm very happy that he did go ahead and restructure. Maybe at the end of the day, he looked, inside of himself and said, hey, man, look, man, I've been ripping this team off. They didn't pay me all this damn money, and I ain't gave them nothing. I barely gave them, some games when we went to the Super Bowl, and I ain't even give him nothing last year. So, and then we don't know if he's gonna even be able to play this year. So for me, hey, I'm happy. Dee Ford restructured. Thank you, Jesus. But basically, you know what I'm saying? We doing pretty good. Just taking a look at everything here. The salary cap space, man. So let's take a look. I'm going to take a look really quick at the salary cap space and see if we can't go ahead and, make sure that that's right. Give me just a second. So the salary cap space for everybody, man, it's different. It's straight different, man. Like some people in the salary cap hell, some people got all kinds of money, and this has changed, but this is per Spot Rock this morning. As far as salary caps go, the teams that have the work to do, honestly, right now, and they're definitely over the cap, is still New Orleans Saints, the Atlanta Falcons, the Philadelphia Eagles, and the Rams. Now, the Rams just re-signed Leonard Floyd. I don't know where they're finding all this goddamn money, but you can't be over the damn day. The Rams, this was this morning when I pulled this, guys. The Rams were over the fucking cap, $32 million. Over. You can't be over the cap, $32 million, and be trying to give people money. It don't make no sense. You ain't got it to give. What are you doing? So it always trips me out when I see that, man. I'm like, yo, that's crazy. It's always like that, man. Chicago Bears only got $89,842 cap space. Like, some of these numbers are just flat out ridiculous, man. So honestly, the guys that have the most cap space, New England Patriots, they got looks like, as far as total cap space, they got $71 million. The Jets, $69 million. The Jags, $70 million. So the Jets, the Patriots, and the Jags can make moves upon moves upon moves because they have all that space. Now, I believe Joe Thuney just signed somewhere else. So you'll probably see the Patriots going after a couple of offensive linemen in the draft unless they got some people, in their little farming system that they feel can do something right. And the other person that they did sign, man, it hurts to see this dude go. It truthfully does. But KB, man, much love to the kid, bro. Much love to the kid. I know we all got frustrated because he was always happy. He was always dancing, and he'd be doing it at the wrong moment and all of these other things. But at the end of the day, man, KB did what he could for us, and you got to give him credit, man. You got to give him credit. KB did one thing that most of our people couldn't do: stay healthy. The man was there year in, year out. He was always healthy. He never missed a game, ever. So it sucks that, we can't go ahead and keep him. But what I can tell you is it's looking good for Cam Newton over there, goddammit. It ain't looking too bad. You just got Jonnu Smith, and now you have Kendrick Bourne. So those are two offensive weapons. And I can tell you right now, KB he showed up anybody they had over there as far as like receiving yards and touchdowns. I get he could be replaced, Callie, but it's still, man, like, KB was the life. He was the life of our receiver room. And it kind of sucks to see him wind up going, but I'm glad he got paid. I ain't finna hate on him. Shit, go get your money, KB. You know what I'm saying? And, Matt says, look, ain't no way we're going to pay KB $22.5 million. I get it, Matt. Truthfully, I do. But for me, yeah, you know what I'm saying, 22.5 mil? And that was what, over 2 years or 2 or 3 years, Matt? What was the deal? Because I didn't get a chance to take a look at it. But we offered him $5 million a year for 2 years. Yeah, so I mean, he's been with us for a couple years. He's learned the NFL system. He knows what he needs to do. The only difference I can tell you is he's not going to have that slack and that leeway to be dancing and smiling over there in New England unless he's scoring touchdowns. I'm going to tell you that right now. That Belichick ain't playing none of that shit. Okay, so they gave him 3 years, $22.5 million. That's a fair deal for KB. It's a fair deal, and he's worth every penny. Worth every penny. If we could have offered him that, I would have said go ahead and do it. Strictly based on the fact that with KB and what he brings to the table, if you use him more and use him correctly, then yeah, you can actually get some good production out of him. But you got to remember, man, we use KB sparingly, very sparingly. You know what I'm saying? He didn't have the production that you probably would have thought he could have had because we used him. He was a situational kind of guy. And now him going over there to New England, he could probably be more than that. He's not going to get somebody 3 years and $22.5 million and give him next to nothing. You know, but there's been so much going on in fit. Drew Brees retired. Shout out Drew Brees. Shout out the Saints. Shout out to Saints fans. And the Saints are moving on with Taysom Hill. 4 years, $140 million. Now, the confusing thing about Taysom Hill is you never really seemed to do a lot of quarterback. And you decided to pony up that kind of dough for a dude you use as a gadget guy for years? The deal just doesn't add up for me. I wouldn't be paying Taysom Hill that kind of bread. You want to give Taysom Hill maybe 20 a year or something like that. I get all right, that's kind of feasible, 15 to 20. But I'm not 4 years for 100. That's way too much money. You know what I'm saying? For a dude that literally was a gadget guy. He was your running back. He was a wide receiver. He was a quarterback. He was a wildcat quarterback. He was a kick returner, punt returner. He was a gunner. Like, he basically was a Swiss Army knife. And as much respect to the dude, but the last Swiss Army knife that kind of got paid was Reggie Bush. And that was some years ago. Bush ain't played games in a long time. So, I get it, but I don't to an extent. You know what I'm saying? It just doesn't make sense. You know, you can't say Jimmy overpaid and you just paid Taysom Hill a handsome ransom. I don't understand it. Like I said, I wouldn't have paid him that kind of bread just because he hasn't actually been a QB that long. But then the other option for them, honestly, was Jameis Winston. And you don't really want to pay Jameis that kind of money. Why? Because Jameis isn't necessarily worth that kind of money with his 36 interceptions to 36 touchdowns. That just doesn't add up. But I'm happy that KB got the bag. So now you got to think about it. Our receiver room. Now we shift gears. So when you look at the line, our main priority, get Trent in there. If we can get Trent in there, and we can re-sign Ben Garland and keep a Hronis Grasu, we've got our center, and our line is solid. It'll be Trent, Lakin, Garland, Brunskill, and McGlinchey. We all know McGlinchey is suspect when it comes to pass pro. He's never suspect when it comes to run defense, though. He's actually really good in the run game. But I don't know what to do about his pass pro. He was hanging with Joe Staley more recently. So, to me, hey, if you hanging with Joe, tell Joe to help you work on your pass pro. Joe was a great pass protector. He was a great run blocker. He was good at both. So now when you shift and you take a look at the receiver room, so you got KB. You no longer have KB. He's in New England. He's gone. Love him. Wish him nothing but the best. I will watch New England strictly because my dog is there. I'm going to continue to support KB regardless, man. He's one of the coolest people ever, bro. Like, if you ever seen his Instagram, man, he's like super chill. You know, he doesn't push his celebrity on you. He just got an infectious attitude, man. And that's just what you get when you get a dude. That's that chill. That's that cool. So we have to find a center because we got to have somebody run the offense. I know a lot of people aren't high on Alex Mack. The only issue is he knows the system, so we don't have to teach him shit. You know, so the other thing about that is continuity. Who do we get? You know, how do we build continuity if the line continually is changing? We're always rotating in pieces in and out, you know. So when it comes to our receivers, what do we have? We got Brandon Ayuk. We have Deebo Samuel. You know what I'm saying? We have the Boat River Craycraft. You know, we still have Jalen Hurd, who's we ain't heard nothing about him, pun intended. There's we haven't heard anything on Jauan Jennings yet. You know what I mean? So that tells me we'll probably most likely draft a receiver or try to find somebody in free agency. I'd love to get a Kenny Golladay. I'd love to. I just don't think we have the money to pay him. If we could get him on like one of those little 1-year deals, you know, say kind of a little 1-year prove-it joints, we could, but he didn't have to prove shit because he's already done it. Kenny Golladay, Marvin Jones, you know what I'm saying? These dudes are out there, and I don't want them going anywhere near the damn Rams because that was Matthew Stafford's big targets. Those were his guys. So that tells us we might have to draft for ourselves a receiver. We're going to have to look for that. We still need a safety. You know, Nitty Gritty Niners, they were just talking about, you know, some of the other safeties that are out there. I like Malik Hooker. I like Malik Hooker when he was coming out of Ohio State. And I wanted us to draft him. Why? Because I like a ball hawk. I don't like a goddamn cover corner for shit. I don't want you to cover nothing and slow him down and hold him to, 5 yards. I want you to intercept the goddamn ball and need to take it to the house and give it back to the office so they can get us in the end zone and we score some goddamn points. I like ball hawks. It's just me. Always been that way. That's why I like Paul Krause. Paul Krause played in a different time frame. But that motherfucker still holds an interception record. It has not been touched and/or broken. Barely even come close to, right? So, for me, how do you watch it? Just all you gotta do is subscribe, bro. I watch 49er podcasts in general. I watch because I support other dudes that do it. And the one thing I can tell you is there's so many of us. There's 1 million of us out there, bro. 1 million of us out there. You know what I'm saying? And you got your Hawk, JD the Hawk hater. He's out there. You have Nothing But Niners. You got Rombo. I just subscribed to another kid I was seeing. He was in our chat, our Twitter chat, man. That's how it is. What's happening, Symmetry? So, you support the people, man, because it's what we do. But the moves that we're making this offseason show that we're trying to make sure we stand strong and we stand firm, that we are going forward. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, definitely. Follow Breezy, man. Breezy is a good dude. Breezy's such a good dude, man. He's so cool. You know what I'm saying? We the same age, man. Me and Breezy, same age, bro. But with our O-line, we need that continuity. That's why signing Trent is priority number 1. And I wish that we would be able to just get it done so I could sleep at night, not be confused. But it is what it is. But here we go, John. But can't deal with John V sometimes. That's my dog, man. That's my brother from another mother right there, man. I tell people all the time, you want to laugh, just follow John V on Twitter. Yeah, it's cracking up. But what we have here simply is, if you look at what we got, if we were just to go into the season and these guys were all healthy, everybody was perfectly fine. If you had Deebo Samuel, Brandon Ayuk, Jalen Hurd, and Jauan Jennings, I'm okay with that I'm all right with that. Because I know that I have 2 receivers who can already play. I have one guy who gave me one play that told me he was a bully, and basically it was going to take 4 or 5 of y'all to bring him down, and y'all couldn't. And I have another guy who showed me in college that he can do some things. So you want to try your best to just continually get in there and be able to build the continuity. Jamie's got to build continuity with receivers. That's why when you saw him actually talking a couple years ago, he was always talking about KB this, KB that, KB. Why? Because him and KB had built that kind of chemistry. Now, would love to have us go ahead and bring back Emmanuel Sanders for his leadership. He was great in the growth of Deebo Samuel. Imagine him mentoring Brandon Ayuk, because Ayuk is taller, way longer than Deebo. Deebo can continue to be the bully he is. Rest in peace to Tiny Lister Jr., man, because he did pass away. But Deebo on the field could be the dude he is, but Brandon Ayuk can be the receiver because he's got that ridiculous wingspan. He's got the athleticism. He has the size. And if you got Emmanuel Sanders tutoring that just puts us in a prime position to continually win. If Jauan Jennings can get on the field, he gets tutored by him too. You know what I mean? You get Jalen Hurd, if he can ever get healthy, that would be a good thing. But that's an if, because it's been 2 years of nothing. But these are the things. Yes, Matt, I did see that video. But you know, you gotta let people be, man. Everybody had their moments, you know. Some people can't Millie rock, some people can't, you know, do all these little dances, flossing and all this other stuff. It is what it is. But I did see something about, you know, maybe us possibly being interested in Juju. But the issue with Juju is I don't like is that he's a little too much. You know, get out there, play ball, do that stuff on your own time. You know, honestly, when it comes to a little more time, John B, you better slow your roll, bro. Don't do that. John B, don't you do that. He does not dance better than KB. KB be out there groovy. KB be out there super groovy. No, he does not. Juju ain't got nothing on KB. I put him in a dance battle. I'm putting all my bread, any and everything I got, investments and all, on KB. He will win that battle. Exactly. Thank you, Miss Debbie. I you know, that's exactly what I'm thinking. You bring him back to tutor those guys is definitely a beautiful thing. And Jess, David, let me put that up there for everybody to see. This is the beauty. Jimmy has trust in E-Man. He knows E-Man gonna be where he's supposed to be. That is correct. He does have that. And if you have that continuity with a receiver and you know that when you put the ball there, they're going to go get the shit, that's why you know to do it. It's like when you go toward the end zone, you and KB's on your team, you know to go to him. Why? You know it's going to be money. He's not dropping shit. He may drop the biggest pass of his goddamn career when we trying to throw it to him and get that crucial first down or this or that. But when he get in the end zone, he ain't dropping no balls. KB find a way to get open, just put the ball to him and he'll get it. You saw what he did when that jump ball last year? That jump ball last year was ridiculous. I think we were playing the Cowboys, if I'm not mistaken. We were getting our ass handed to us. I don't know how many Cowboys it was at that moment, but I can tell you right now, there's only one person that came down with the ball, and that was Kendrick Bourne, people. So you give him that much credit. You appreciate KB for his contributions to the squad. Don't be mad at him for going out and getting his bag. You got to love him for what he did for us. I say, hey, do your thing, KB. Continue to be blessed, young blood. Take care of that beautiful little girl that you have. And if they get that line right and you can get a actual healthy Cam Newton, that's it. KB, Jonnu Smith. You know, if N'Keal Harry could get his head out his ass and start to know how to play football like he did when he was at ASU, they could have a little problem out there. You know what I'm saying? That's a nice little setup. But that remains to be seen. But yeah, guys, we have so much going on that I was so happy I had to bring y'all a quick show, man. The biggest news of the day for me was when I saw that D Ford restructured his contract. I about cried. I about shed some tears. I've been waiting for his ass to restructure since he sat on the bench and been collecting the check. And the only difference between him and McKinnon is McKinnon was ungrateful because we lined his pockets, and that punk bastard decided to go out and talk about, fuck no, I ain't coming back, on to the next city. And where's Jerick McKinnon currently? On the couch. Doing nothing. Spending our goddamn money that we gave him to sit on the bench and do nothing. To have tired legs. That play that he cut back against the Jets, that was nasty. But you know what? He wasn't a Jet. You know why? Because he got caught. Had that been Raheem the Dream, go. Yeah. I'm out. That's how he works. So, looking at the squad as presently constructed, if we can get this done, you have Trent Williams, Laken Tomlinson. Right now, currently, there is no center. We don't know what's going on with Richburg. We haven't re-signed Garland. We haven't re-signed Grosset. So we don't have a center. Daniel Brunskill, Mike McGlinchey. Quarterback, obviously, is still Jimmy G. X and Z are always interchangeable in Kyle Shanahan's offense. So you have Brandon Ayuk, Deebo Samuel. Now, as far as a slot guy, if we can get Hurd and or Jennings healthy, it's probably going to be one of them. Or you may see Deebo slide into the slot as well. Like I said, the positions of wide receiver are always going to be interchangeable. You will never have a true number one receiver in Kyle Shanahan's offense. It doesn't work that way unless it was like you were when he was in Atlanta and you had Julio. That's obvious. He's the number one receiver. It's fucking Julio Jones. This guy is amazing. Then with the running backs, we still have Jeff, we got Jermichael, and we do have Raheem the Dream. What people have been going into, honestly, have just been some different things. And once again, I see some mock drafts that still baffle me. Matt had a great mock draft. The only thing I didn't like about his mock draft is he drafted a tight end. In this draft, we need to focus on our offensive line and defensive backs. We have no need for a tight end. We got Charlie Warner, Ross Dwelley, and George Kittle. That's 3. That's all we need. If you want to get a UDFA and pay him chump change and have him there as a camp body, whatever. Do not draft a tight end because it's a wasted pick. We don't need that. We need depth on our O-line. Because right now, currently, there's still Sean Coleman because he didn't play because of COVID. There's Justin School. There's Colton McKivitz. You know what I'm saying? Those are just a few of our backups. I do not feel comfortable going into the season with Justin School starting at left tackle to protect Jimmy's blind side. No, I don't. Not at all. And if y'all do, okay. I'd rather put Daniel Brunskill at left tackle and put Justin School to guard. That might work out a little bit better. But I don't want Brunskill playing center. I think it's not going to take much to get Ben Garland to put the pen to the paper. And I know he's fully healthy. Everybody's got to be fully healthy. The only person that we worried about right now being fully healthy, honestly, is Nick Bosa. And he's continually rehabbing. And he's young. So his body should heal up properly. The other thing is to find another edge rusher. We're still waiting on that. I don't want another edge rusher in the first round. I'm tired of it. It's just been consistent year in and year out. It's getting rather annoying. Like, we got to change it up and switch it up. Like, there's certain things you do with consistency and certain things you don't. And drafting a damn edge rusher or drafting somebody for a defensive line every year becomes horribly redundant and stupid. So, how do I feel about the BJ? I do not know who BJ Finney is. But I mean, if he's a viable center, if he's a dude that we got to draft, whatever the case may be, I'm all for it, man. I'm all for a center that can basically do what Richburg did without having the injury issues. It takes a lot to have that kind of knowledge, and it sucks because we couldn't get it. See, it would have been nice, had we been able to have Richburg at the game, you know what I'm saying, to be able to say, hey, man, look, I need to plug you in with Grasu. I need to plug you in with Brunskill. Tell me what you're seeing out here. Give him that iPad and say, hey, what are you watching this whole view? What are you seeing? Talk to them. Share the game. And that will make things better. You know what I mean? So I think that I have seen nothing on Kerry Hyder. So we may be able to get Hyder back. I know a lot of people are saying, oh, man, he going to go get the bag. He going to go get the bag. But the thing is people can start negotiating with these guys now. I know that, the free agency frenzy is on and everybody's making moves. There's been a ton of different signings. It's hard to keep up with. My phone just keeps going off. With Ian Rappaport or anybody that's just saying, oh, okay, hey, this happened. It's like, Jesus Christ, I can't keep up with all of this. As far as the 49ers go, period, point blank, we're taking care of home first, and we'll worry about the rest after. And to be honest with you, if we don't get Trent, I understand. You're young, you gotta go get that bag while you can. You have plenty of years left in you to be able to play. You were able to take a year off, a little less tread off the tires, you know what I'm saying, and get your mind right. Let's see. What would y'all talk about here in this chat right now? 62.5 mil, 17 guaranteed per Dan Graziano. Okay. Yeah. But for me, I'm happy that we're taking care of home. If we don't re-sign Trent, we can spend that money on Kerry. Kerry's not going to get a ridiculous bag, guys. Like Kerry ain't finna come, walk her in somewhere and they're going to be like, Kerry Hyder, you've had a spectacular season last year. We're going to give you $85 million for a 5-year deal. Like he's not about to get that kind of bag. But if unfortunately we don't re-sign Trent, Kerry Hyder's still available. I wouldn't mind having Kerry Hyder on one side and having Nick Bosa on the other. I have no objections to that. I feel like that's a perfectly good thing. So having those guys to be able to do the right thing will work out well for us in the end. I am always a big, proponent of taking the time out to look inside and then go outside. I've always been that way. But David Yang says Ekuban is better than Hyder. Hyder had a better season than him last year. But he may be, there may be different things we don't know much about him. You know what I'm saying? Currently, right now, all we're really waiting on, guys, is Trent. That is our fear, our biggest fear, and we want him to come back. We really do. We all know what happened with Indianapolis, and they got, they traded for Carson Wentz, and they got a bag. They got money, man. They got big money. Indianapolis right now, guys, they currently have, let's see, they got $48 million right now. So they got some bread they can spend. Like I said, New England, they got 71. Jets, 69. So the only thing with the Jets is, man, and this going to hurt. It pains me to say this. They're going to sign K'Wan. Robert wants he wants him. If he can get that GM not to be frugal, he'll get him. He will. Because K'Wan, if I'm not mistaken, I think it was John V that told me, John, isn't K'Wan a Jersey kid? Isn't he from Jersey? If I'm not mistaken. So you close to home. You get to be around your peoples year in and year out. And you get to go get a bag. Look, man, I'm from LA. You know what I'm saying? If the 49ers called me and I was, playing football and they said, hey, Deion, we're going to give you a bag and we want you to come to Cali. I would love it. I'd hate the damn taxes. I'd hate the taxes. Just, oh, God, I would hate them. But I have opportunity to be home, be around my friends, be around my family. These is all people I know. I'll be able to move in my own, my own neighborhood the way I want to. Oh, yeah, man, I'm definitely going home. So I couldn't knock him if he did. What do you say? Marvin Jones will take a vet minimum. If Marvin Jones take a vet minimum, Sim, damn it, we need to get on the phone with Parag and tell him tell him to get on the phone with Marvin. I'll take Marvin Jones. I think Kenny Golladay too. I'd love either one of them. They're great receivers, man. You know what I'm saying? I say what I say about Stafford, but the thing is honestly, it's a situation where Kyle Shanahan is always gonna make Sean McVay his bitch. He gonna do it. He's always gonna do it. You know what I'm saying? And that's a good point, David. That's a really good point right there, man. I caught this in the chat. David says, I think Trent is staying. He's just waiting for teams to drive up his worth so the Niners can offer him a couple more million. I don't even knock the dude for that. I truthfully don't. There's going to be some teams that are going to throw that man all kinds of money because he's worth it. He's worth every single penny. And you saw that. As the season progressed, he only got better. It didn't take him long to knock the rust off, really. And yeah, I mean, everybody, I'll say, I continue to say everybody has a bad game. The thing is, if you have consistent bad games, that's where the real problem lies. But for me, oh man, that shit, yeah, look, go get your money. At the end of the day, the NFL stands for a lot of things, and one of them is not for long. So you got to get paid while you can, because your time in this league is usually very, very limited. Hell, and running backs' time in the league is usually 8 to 10 years at a max. So Aaron Jones was a free agent. Not anymore. 4 years, $48 million back with the Pack. That helps Aaron Rodgers. You know what I mean? But it's a situation where I don't see Matthew Stafford being that big because Sean McVay is going to continue to run the same system. And yes, Stafford can throw the ball. Goff did that. The only difference between Goff and Stafford is Stafford had a bigger arm. He was way more highly touted coming out of Georgia, And Goff was hyped, but there were question marks. When Stafford got drafted, people didn't have no question marks. They were like, yeah, this dude's going to be a great pro. And he's done it. He's put up some good numbers, but I like to call Stafford, he's like a Dan Marino. He gonna always be remembered for the dude that threw the ball all over the place. He was great, but he just never won a Super Bowl. He ain't gonna get one. I know that for a fact. He's not going to get a Super Bowl in LA. I think he's only there for 2 years, and they're gonna have to draft it with the way they give out their first round picks like candy. They ain't gonna have nobody to draft. They got to try to find somebody to really, literally be behind him and learn to usher him in when Matthew Stafford decides to hang it up. And it's going to take some time to get there, man. But we will see. And I do hope that Trent Williams comes home and stays with us and we don't have to wind up doing anything crazy. I do hope that we figure out what's going on in center because it's a very vital position on the offensive line. We need to have a viable guy there who can be accountable, make sure he calls the right protections, has the proper communication with everybody else on the line so we all know what's going on and, we can protect Jimmy when he can't protect himself. So I appreciate y'all. Let me take up some of y'all time. I will be back in the coming days with more and more news as things continue to go on. As I've been talking to y'all, man, the phone's just been going apeshit insane. Give me just a second. Let's see here. Okay. Nope, nothing else. So we good. Everything has been, what I'm saying, lovely. And we are looking pretty good, man. I can't be too mad. Everything seems to be working out well for us. So far, we have been blessed this off season and during this free agency period just from this small span of time. So the big blessing needs to come. And once we get that, we will, hey, thank you very much, Miss Debbie. It's good to see you as well. You know, and you stay fresh too. Um, but thanks so much for tuning in. Appreciate y'all for taking time out to go ahead and listen to me ramble on about these 49ers and a couple other things that's been going on. I'll be back with more videos, back with more takes, and hopefully the next video is just an overwhelming freak out reaction to the fact that we got Trent Williams and he stayed and he's home. 49ers Lakers for life. What's happening? Thank you, everybody in the chat, for tuning in. Appreciate the love. Thank you, Mariah. Thank everybody for just showing up and watching. Y'all have yourselves a wonderful evening. Stay safe. And hopefully in your state, in your city, in your town, COVID is just going away. Because back home in California, man, they done opened up. Y'all ain't see the Grammys. Everybody was everywhere, man. Oh, by the way, I'm just going to drop this in there. If y'all like some smooth R&B, for anybody here that likes the grown and sexy R&B and real R&B, and likes the old school feel, I'm talking about the Temptations, Delphonics, the James Brown type feel to the music. Check out Silk Sonic, aka Bruno Mars, and Anderson .Paak. They've got a song called Leave the Door Open. They blew the Grammys away last night. They even did a tribute to Little Richard as well. Definitely check that out, man. Y'all got to get on it because that joint right there is so smooth, man. That just make you want to just pour you up a little glass of hen. You know what I'm saying? Sit back and sip, and just let it play. Y'all have a good evening. Thank y'all for stopping by. Be blessed.